General, I appreciated our discussion in my office, and I want to thank you for your service to the nation and for being here in front of us today. General, I want to be consistent. We have discussed spectrum before, but I wanted to bring it up publicly with you today. I've heard from over 30 senior Pentagon officials in public hearings over the last 2.5 years, including every service chief and 8 combatant commanders, who all agree that vacating the 3.1 to 3.45 gigahertz band of the electromagnetic spectrum would have significantly negative consequences for our warfighting capabilities. In fact, the Department of the Navy previously estimated that relocating their systems to a different spectrum band would cost them $250 billion. Both the Navy and the Marine Corps intend to make extensive use of capabilities which require the electromagnetic spectrum to function in the Western Pacific against China. General, does the Joint Force have capabilities operating on the 3.1 to 3.45 gigahertz band and the 7 and 8 gigahertz bands of the spectrum, which would be used in a conflict with China?
Yes, Senator, we do. Extensive capabilities.
Would those capabilities be negatively impacted if you were forced to vacate those bands or share them with commercial users in a non-optimal manner?
Yes, Senator, they would, as I understand it.
Thank you. General, in my office, we discussed the possibility or the possible near-term threat of a conflict involving multiple adversaries in multiple theaters. Some key observers assess that our adversaries will seek to press their advantage in the event we are committed in another area, particularly given the increasingly close coordination between China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea. We've looked at this through the NDAA. You will find it mentioned again in this year's NDAA as being proposed. How can we better posture to maintain deterrence in multiple theaters? And just thinking about it, what is it going to mean in terms of resources, capabilities, and authorities that the Joint Force would need to consider with the fact that this is a very likely scenario should we have an adversarial conflict in one of those theaters?
Senator, I don't think anybody is surprised by the relationship, say, between Russia and China, China and Iran, Russia and North Korea. I think what may surprise some people is the depth of that relationship and the interactions that have been going on, which support the statement you made. If there is a conflict in one area, there may be a reflex or reactive conflict in another. And from the Joint Force, and if confirmed and to the level of my influence, I'll make sure that we're balanced in our capability and capacity against the most dangerous and the most likely courses of action should that happen.
Thank you. General, we discussed high-pressure cold spray and similar advanced manufacturing technologies that will enable deployed forces to continue combat operations in the face of contested logistics. If confirmed, will you advocate for adoption and standardization of technologies like high-pressure cold spray that will help mitigate the contested logistics problem set for our forward-deployed warfighters across the Joint Force?
Sir, cold spray is a great example of advanced manufacturing for repair and for building high-quality components, and I do commit to pushing forward those capabilities to the extent that I can influence it. Needing less forward and having to bring less forward is an opportunity that we can go after with advanced manufacturing.
Yeah, the bottom line is if we've got the ability to actually recreate or to repair items without waiting for a supply chain to deliver in a contested area of operation would mean literally saving lives, should we be able to accomplish this and to get that material out in advance. Fair enough?
Very fair, Senator.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. And look, I think you are eminently qualified. I think you're the right guy for the job, and I do look forward to supporting your nomination.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.